Díomh Gwine Ushla agus Faughart, hello and welcome. It's Misha Amy, the Crafty Kylock, and today I'm going to be talking about Imbolc. If this is your first time to my channel, Faughart, welcome. I make content about Irish history, folklore, food and magic, and I'm very passionate about promoting Ireland's cultural heritage. This is my fourth and final Irish festivals video where I talk about each of the 4 Irish fire festivals. I'll leave links to the other festivals down in the description below. So far I have covered Bealtaine, Lunasa, Samhain, and now we're talking about Imbolc. So first of all, what is Imbolg and what does it mean? So Imbolc in the Old Irish and Imbolg in Modern Irish. First of all, one of the meanings, because nothing is straightforward, one of the meanings of Imbolg is Imbolg, meaning in a belly. So in spring, that kind of fertility that you would associate with spring lambs and spring baby farm animals, and potentially also human pregnancies, Imbolg has that kind of association of new growth, new life, not just with animals and humans, but also in nature with plants. Another one of the meanings for Imbolc is from the Old Irish oimilk, which can be found in Cormac's glossary, and oimilk means ewe's milk. So again, the female sheep's milk, which would be produced following the birth of lambs or around the time of the birth of lambs. But what Imbolc is the start of the spring season, and it is that fire festival where we welcome the spring, saying goodbye to winter. Even though a lot of the weather at the moment might not feel like spring, the 1st of February or Imbolc is the start of spring in Ireland. So with Imbolc, and also with other festivals around the same time, such as St Brigid's Day, and also Candlemas, there's a lot of festival associations happening at the start of February. So in Ireland, a very common and very well-known association with Imbolc and the 1st of February is also with St Brigid. Brigid was an Irish goddess and also Irish saint. So there's a little bit of crossover here with pagan tradition and also with Christian tradition. Associations with this festival and Brigid specifically denote that a lot of the activity, like in other fire festivals such as the night before Bealtaine or May Eve, or ehre, the night before Samhain being November, which is the last day of October, the night before Imbolc or the night before Brigid's Day, Brigid's Eve, is where a lot of the magic happens. So Brigid is said to visit homes in the night before Brigid's Day, and in doing so does a lot of blessings. There's also a lot of customs to welcome Brigid and to welcome her into the home. So typically on Brigid's night or Brigid's Eve, what will happen is people will come together to make Brigid's crosses. So I have a Brigid's cross up here, which is 3 years old. I don't tend to throw them out. I keep them and I put them in other places in my house. The Brigid's cross looks like this and has 4 arms. There are more intricate ones as well that you can make. There are 3-arm Brigid crosses. There are ones that have crosses on crosses on crosses that look very complicated to make. They're made using a type of weaving technique with rushes. You can also use corn or any other material that's natural. There will be a lot of cleaning or spring cleaning to clear out the winter and clear out the old energy to welcome in the new energy. Also, it was a custom in Ireland for children to dress up a bridgeog or doll-like thing that was made out of corn and dressed in cloth. It's also customary to make this out of a broom, which I talked a little bit about in my broom folklore video. But essentially a figure or effigy of Brigid would be constructed either with a broom or some corn or both, and put a sort of dress on the figure, and there would be a procession through the town from house to house, and not unlike Halloween, kids would go door to door asking for a penny for Brigid or for some form of offering for Brigid at the doors. Another very common practice that I practice myself is the brat breed. Now, the brat breed or Brigid's mantle is left out again on Brigid's Eve on the 31st of January for Brigid's blessing. So you will hang out a piece of cloth. Some people will use a ribbon, some people will use a scarf or a bandana. I use a piece of cloth which I've embroidered a Brigid's cross into. And then if you get specifically a headache and other ailments throughout the year, you can lay the brat breed on you and it will help heal. I have to say this is very effective in our house. I had a migraine yesterday and I pulled out my brat breed, which I had left out to bless last year. And maybe it was placebo. Maybe you could argue if you were skeptical that it was placebo, but instantly I felt better. My husband also takes the brat breed when he has a headache and puts it under his hat. Another practice that is done on Brigid's Eve is the sprinkling of ashes. Specifically sprinkling of ashes around the bed. In the main area, generally in the front of the house, near the hearth, a bed would be laid out for Brigid, and often the Bridog, the little doll, would be placed in the bed and ash would be sprinkled around. And the next morning, if there was footprints in the ash, it was said that Brigid had come to bless the space. There's also accounts of this being done around maybe the bed of an elderly or sick relative in the house and also at the door. This is something that's also done on a couple of different days throughout the year, specifically New Year's Eve and also at Samhain as well. Another festival or occasion that marks this time of year as well is the 2nd of February, which is Candlemas, which is a Christian Catholic tradition. Some similarities between Candlemas and Imbolc would be the bringing in the new and making sure things were cleaned. And with Candlemas, that revolves a lot around changing out candles. So you take candles that had been burned and replace all your candles in the house with new candles. So those are some of the customs and traditions in Ireland surrounding Imbolc. Also, there has been an announcement from the Irish government recently marking Brigid's Day or Imbolc next year in 2023 as another official public holiday. This is to remember those who worked through the pandemic and also will be Ireland's first festival that is named after a female. So maybe next year, instead of St Patrick's Day parades, we could bring back the Brigid Eve processions and do that instead. So anyway, Sinead, that is it for Imbolc. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you are looking for more resources on Imbolc, I will put some links down in the description below so you can read more about St Brigid or the goddess Brigid and also learn more about Imbolc. I would highly recommend the Irish Pagan School. I would also highly recommend Orlagh Costello, who works with St Brigid and the goddess Brigid. I will put links to Orlagh's blog down in the description below. I will put a few links for videos for Tine as well, who has done a couple of videos around Brigid and specifically Brigid in Kildare. And anything else I find I will throw in the description as well. Just to also take a second to talk about my t-shirt. This t-shirt, which shows all 4 fire festivals in the Irish tradition, so Imbolc, Bealtaine, Lunasa and Samhain, is available on my merch shop, which I am officially announcing in this video. If you're following me on Instagram, you might have seen I also have these mugs with my logo on them. I mainly just designed these for myself, but if you would like to go get some, you can check out the link in the description below. Every purchase made supports the channel and also gives you some cool pagan festival wear to wear. This really is a t-shirt for all seasons. So slán from me, goodbye from me. I will see you in the next video, which should be out soon. Slán.